Heather, thank you so much for doing this, and congratulations on being selected here at TIFF. Can you please explain briefly the premise of your film?
Sure. So the film's called Murmur, and it's about an older woman who is convicted of driving while impaired and is required to do community service at an animal shelter. And while there, she begins adopting animals, some would say too many animals, and kind of goes down the road towards becoming an animal hoarder.
Where did this story come from, or how were you inspired to write a story like this?
Well, I made a short film in 2014 called Howard and Jean that was kind of a documentary fiction hybrid that explored my mother's relationship with her Chihuahua. She had an elderly Chihuahua at the time. He's since passed on. But it explored a woman who was experiencing anxiety and took a lot of comfort in her pet dog. And I thought, you know, what if this idea was kind of taken to the extreme, where someone is trying to form a connection and have comfort from an animal, but it never quite satisfies them. So they keep getting more and more animals to try to fill this void within them. But because it's not working, they end up just having too many animals, and it becomes a difficult situation for them at that point.
Now, the casting process must have been not a difficult, but a pivotal part of this film. Tell us why you chose the main character for this film.
Right. So we have a cast of all non-professional actors, and we did pretty extensive auditions for our lead, because our lead is basically in every scene of the film. She's a huge part of it, and I met Shan McDonald. Actually, I found her at a doggy daycare where she brings her pets. So she has 4 dogs of her own, and I really needed someone who had a genuine and very real connection to animals. And she's a huge dog lover, and she adopts senior dogs, which is what the character does in the film. She adopts a senior animal. So she was really able to access that kind of emotion in herself of connecting to animals and feeling comfort from them. So she was the perfect fit for that reason. Yeah.
What was the biggest challenge you had in making this film?
That's a good question. I think for me personally, the biggest challenge was the edit. I'd made short films previously, and I'd also been the editor on those, and I was used to editing shorts, but I was the editor on this film, my first feature, and I just found it a huge leap going from editing a short to editing a feature. There was just so much footage, so it took a lot longer than I anticipated, and it was very challenging. So I think personally for me that was the hardest and kind of more unexpected challenge. Yeah.
I know you won many awards for your shorts, but aside from editing, what were some of the things that made it a little bit more easier for you to make a feature because you've done shorts?
Right. So in my last couple of short films, I began working in kind of this hybrid form between documentary and fiction. So in doing that, I was using non-professional actors that were basically playing themselves, and I continued that in my feature. So I found that by taking the kind of aspects that I found were working for me in the short films and transferring them to the feature, that was really helpful, and using that approach of non-professionals and also non-scripted dialogue is something I was using in the shorts that I found was working. So yeah, none of the performers in the feature had to memorize lines, or a lot of them didn't even read the script. So yeah, I just found that was helping me achieve kind of a natural and realistic performance. So that was definitely something that I took from my work in shorts. Yeah.
Now, how does it feel to be here at TIFF 2019?
Well, it's a bit overwhelming, but it's great. I'm really excited. I think it's the perfect fit for our premiere, and there's so many amazing Canadian films this year. I'm really excited to see all of the Canadian content this year. It looks really amazing, so it feels really good to be a part of that. and TIFF's been very supportive of me up until this point. So it's going to be great, and we're really excited. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and good luck with your film.
Thank you very much.